Hello and welcome to the video How I Taught My Grandmother to Read by Sudha Murthy. एरा में देखिवा 50 MCQs. Part 1. Where did the narrator stay with her grandparents as a young girl? South Karnataka, North Karnataka, a city in Maharashtra, a village in Kerala. The answer is North Karnataka. How old was the narrator during the events of this story? 10, 12, 14 or 16? The answer is 12. Why did the morning paper arrive only in the afternoon? The village was too far from the press. The postman was lazy. The transport system was not very good. The newspaper printed late in the day. The answer is the transport system was not very good. When did the weekly magazine arrive in the village? On time, 1 day late, 2 days late, a week late. The answer is 1 day late. Who was the very popular writer in the Kannada language mentioned in the story? Sudha Murthy, Kamala Das, Tribeni or Amrita Pritam? The answer is Tribeni. What was the notable characteristic of Tribeni's writing style? It was highly poetic and complex. It was easy to read and very convincing. It was filled with historical facts. It was difficult to understand but acclaimed. The correct answer is it was easy to read and very convincing. What did Tribeni's stories usually deal with? Kings and queens of ancient India, science fiction concepts, complex psychological problems in ordinary lives, action and adventure tales. The correct answer is complex psychological problems in ordinary lives. What was the name of the novel by Tribeni that appeared as a serial? Karmabira, Kashi Yatre, Dashera, Vishweswara. The correct answer is Kashi Yatre. In which Kannada weekly was the novel serialized? Karmabira, Kashi Yatre, Tribeni, Karnataka Times. The correct answer is Karmabira. Number 10. What was the ardent desire of the old lady in the novel Kashi Yatre? To find her lost daughter, to build a temple in her village, to go to Kashi or Varanasi, to read the scriptures. The answer is to go to Kashi or Varanasi. Who did the old lady wish to worship in Kashi? Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Lord Vishweswara. The answer is Lord Vishweswara. According to most Hindus in the story, what is considered the ultimate punya? Donating to an orphanage, going to Kashi and worshipping Lord Vishweswara, reading the holy scriptures daily, fasting during Dashera. The correct answer is going to Kashi and worshipping Lord Vishweswara. What problem did the young orphan girl face in the novel? She was lost in Kashi. She was very ill. She fell in love but had no money for the wedding. She wanted to study but wasn't allowed. The answer is she fell in love but had no money for the wedding. How does the Kashi Yatra end? The old lady goes to Kashi with the orphan. The old lady gives her savings to the orphan girl for her wedding. The orphan girl gives her savings to the old lady. Both characters travel to Kashi together. The correct answer is the old lady gives her savings to the orphan girl for her wedding. What was the name of the narrator's grandmother? Tribeni, Saraswati, Abba, Krishtaka. The answer is Krishtaka. Why couldn't the grandmother read? She was visually impaired. She never went to school. She only knew how to write, not read. She forgot how to read over time. The correct answer is she never went to school. On which day of the week would the narrator read the magazine to her grandmother? Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The correct answer is Wednesday. What would the grandmother do while listening to the story? Cook dinner, knit sweaters, forget all her work and listen with the greatest concentration, fall asleep. The correct answer is forget all her work and listen with the greatest concentration. What remarkable ability did the grandmother show after listening to the story? She could write it down in her diary. She could repeat the entire text by heart. She could predict the next chapter. She could translate it into English. The correct answer is she could repeat the entire text by heart. With whom the grandmother identify herself? The orphan girl, Lord Vishweswara. The novel's protagonist means the old lady, Tribeni. The correct answer is the novel's protagonist means the old lady. Where would the grandmother go to discuss the latest episode with her friends? The village market, the temple courtyard, the river bank, the local school. The correct answer is the temple courtyard. Why did the narrator go to the neighboring village? To attend a festival, to visit her parents, to go to wedding with her cousins, to buy books. The correct answer is to go to a wedding with her cousins. How long did the narrator end up staying in the neighboring village? A couple of days, a week, 2 weeks, a month. The correct answer is a week. What surprised the narrator upon her return to her village? The magazine hadn't arrived. Her grandmother was in tears. The house was empty. Her grandmother had gone to Kashi. The correct answer is her grandmother was in tears. What does the word Abba mean in the Kannada spoken in North Karnataka? Grandmother, mother, teacher, sister. The correct answer is mother. Where were the narrator and her grandmother sleeping on the night of the conversation? In the living room, in the courtyard, on the open terrace, in the grandmother's bedroom. The answer is on the open terrace. Why didn't Abba go to school as a young girl? There was no school in her village. She had to work in the fields. People didn't consider education essential for girls back then. She was not interested in studying. The correct answer is people didn't consider education essential for girls back then. Number 28. What brought the grandmother happiness later in her life? Writing stories, cooking and feeding her children and grandchildren, traveling to new villages, sewing clothes for orphans. The correct answer is cooking and feeding her children and grandchildren. To compensate for her own lack of education, what did Abba make sure of? That her children and grandchildren studied well, that she donated to schools, that she bought many books for the house, that she learned a trade. The answer is that her children and grandchildren studied well. Now, second part. Question number 30. How old was the grandmother when she decided to learn to read? 52, 62, 60, 70. The correct answer is 62. What did the grandmother try to do with the magazine while the narrator was away? She threw it away in frustration. She rubbed her hands over the pages wishing she could understand them. She drew pictures over the text. She tried to guess the story from the cover alone. The correct answer is she rubbed her hands over the pages wishing she could understand them. Why didn't the grandmother ask someone else in the village to read the magazine to her? Nobody else knew how to read. She didn't trust anyone else. She was too embarrassed to do so. Everyone else was too busy working. The correct answer is she was too embarrassed to do so. How did the grandmother feel about her inability to read? Angry and cheated, dependent and helpless, indifferent and calm, amused and silly. The correct answer is dependent and helpless. What statement does the grandmother make about money? Money can buy you an education at any age. Money is the root of all happiness. We are well off, but what use of money when I can't be independent? Or option D, money should be saved for going to Kashi. The correct answer is we are well off, but what use is money when I can't be independent? Question number 35. What specific alphabet did the grandmother decide to learn? Hindi, English, Kannada, Sanskrit. The correct answer is Kannada. Question number 36. What was the deadline the grandmother set for herself to learn how to read? Diwali, Saraswati Puja Day during Dashera, her 63rd birthday, the narrator's 13th birthday. The answer is Saraswati Puja Day during Dashera. Question number 37. What was the grandmother's ultimate goal in learning to read? To read the newspaper daily, to write her own autobiography, to read a novel on her own and be independent, to teach the village children. The correct answer is to read a novel on her own and be independent. Question number 38. How did the narrator initially react to her grandmother's decision? She cried with joy. She childishly laughed at her and made fun of her. She refused to help her. She immediately started the first lesson. The answer is she childishly laughed at her and made fun of her. Question number 39. What did the narrator point out to mock her grandmother's decision? Her grey hair, wrinkled hands and spectacles, her poor memory and old age, her lack of books and pencils, her busy schedules with village activities. The answer is her grey hair, wrinkled hands and spectacles. Question number 40. What was the grandmother's response to the narrator's teaching. She got very angry and scolded her. She cried again. She just smiled and stated her determination. She cancelled her plan to learn. The answer is she just smiled and stated her determination. Question number 41. According to the grandmother, what is required to overcome any obstacle? A lot of money, a good teacher, determination for a good cause, youth and energy. The correct answer is determination for a good cause. Question number 42. What phrase did the grandmother use regarding the age to learn? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. For learning there is no age bar. Education is for the young. It's never too late to try. The correct answer is for learning there is no age bar. Question number 43. What did the grandmother do for her homework? Read, repeat, write and recite. Just write the alphabet 100 times. Only listen to the narrator. Draw pictures of the characters. The correct answer is read, repeat, write and recite. Question number 44. What profession did the narrator eventually take up later in life? A Kannada writer, a doctor in a village, a teacher in computer science, a journalist for Karma Bira. The correct answer is a teacher in computer science. Question number 45. What did the narrator secretly buy for her grandmother during Dashera? A pair of new spectacles, the novel Kashiyatre, a diary, a weekly subscription to Karmavira. The correct answer is the novel Kashiyatre. Question number 46. What did the grandmother gift the narrator during the puja? A silver coin, a box of sweets, frock material, a gold necklace. The answer is frock material. What unusual gesture did the grandmother do towards the narrator? She kissed her forehead, she hugged her tightly, she bent down and touched her feet, she bowed to her 3 times. The correct answer is she bent down and touched her feet. Question number 48. Why was the narrator surprised when her grandmother touched her feet? Because they were in public, because elders never touch the feet of youngsters, because the grandmother was supposed to touch the priest's feet, because the narrator was holding a book. The correct answer is because the elders never touch the feet of youngsters. Question number 49. How did the grandmother justify touching her granddaughter's feet? She said it was a new village custom. She said she was touching the feet of a teacher irrespective of age and gender. She said she was apologizing for being a slow learner. She said the narrator was like an incarnation of goddess Saraswati. The correct answer is she said she was touching the feet of a teacher irrespective of age and gender. Last question, question number 50. How did the narrator know her student had passed with flying colors? The grandmother passed a written exam. The grandmother immediately read the title and publisher's name of the book given to her. The grandmother recited the entire Kannada alphabet flawlessly. The grandmother read the newspaper aloud to the village. The correct answer is the grandmother immediately read the title and publisher's name of the book given to her. Thank you very much. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel, and also share with your friends and families. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.